When I started practicing law 30 years ago and you needed a ride, you would call a taxi. You would hail a cab. I haven't done that in years and years in Missouri. And like you, the reason is that we use Uber and Lyft. We use ride shares. So in Missouri, the law always was that taxis had a specific knowledge of the area and they were like a hotel. They were a common carrier and they owed you a higher duty of care. Uber and Lyft came into the market and said, no, we're just operating an app and we're not common carriers and we should have low amounts of insurance and that higher standard of law should not apply to us. Like everything else, the money won and the laws are bad now in Missouri, but we can still win a tremendous amount of money for Uber and Lyft passengers that are injured in an accident. In Illinois, they do still have that common carrier standard. So the law in Illinois is a little bit better. Cantor Injury Law practices law in Missouri and in Illinois. But the point is that we know how to win these cases. About 5 years ago, I was curious as to the amount of insurance available under Uber and Lyft. So I registered my personal vehicle to become an Uber driver so that I could get information about their insurance. And I got my answer. Uber and Lyft also are huge corporations. So if you ever resolve a case with them, they expect and they require confidentiality. Cantor Injury Law has won millions of dollars from taxi type companies. If you're injured and a passenger in one of these accidents, the first thing you need to do is make sure that you're safe. The second thing you need to do is get the medical care that you need. Go take the ambulance, go to the hospital, get your injuries checked out. If you're at the accident scene and you have a camera, take a video of the scene, take a video of the car, get information. Call Cantor Injury Law. We will do the remainder of the investigation for you. We'll make sure that you get the appropriate medical care and that we fight hard to win your case. A couple other things about Ubers and Lyfts and other private rides. If you get in a car and you're not using an app, you're not going to have insurance. So if you see a guy at the airport that says, ride for hire, and you just get in his car and you pay him, and God forbid you're involved in a collision, his insurance company is going to say, well, it was for hire and we're a private insurance. So your policy doesn't apply to the vehicle if you're using it for hire. That's a commercial purpose. So Uber and Lyft have their own insurance that is available through the app. And as soon as you get in that vehicle for a ride, that insurance applies. So always use the app, never pay cash for a ride, because if something happens, you won't have insurance. The other thing is that just because Uber and Lyft may have a lot of insurance, and by the way, they're trying to reduce it every year in Missouri, but at times it's been up to $1 million. Even if they don't have enough insurance to cover your losses, you're going to have other insurance on your private vehicle that may apply. For instance, you may have underinsured motorist coverage, or you may have an excess or umbrella policy. So if you're injured in a taxi, Uber, or Lyft accident, don't take the small dough from the insurance company. Call Cantor Injury Law and get the big bucks.